Ghost Chin 3 here, everyone. Time for another video. Thought I'd show you guys. Hey, this is going to be about my first aid kit, the one I keep in my car, but I thought I'd show you guys the size of this Nalgene bottle versus my first aid kit. This one's from REI, and so it's like almost like a bottle and a half size of it or something, so it's not that huge, but it's got some good stuff, so I thought I'd show you. This one's from REI. I've had it for, God knows, 10 years or more, a long time, and I like REI, a lot of bitchin' stuff, but I get a lot of stuff all over the place, especially if there's a good deal. And this is what I got in mine, and let me spread this out right here. And so here, the first part, of course, we've got gauze. This pack came with these little bottles, which I love. I named them. These are ammonia tabs, by the way. You guys probably heard the word smelling salts, but it's somewhat different, but they use it. This is an ammonia inhalant, and if somebody's kind of unconscious or, you know, they're a little out of it, you could actually, you actually just squeeze this. It has small plastic in there. You pop it, and then the ammonia, which is very strong, you put it next to their nostril, and there you go. And it works. I've used it. I've seen partners of mine in the past use it, and wakes up somebody, or if somebody's faking it, you know, this will do it. I'll tell you that for sure. I've seen someone use those and put it in a nostril and leave it in there. Thought the person might have been dead or something, and wow, it's a long time, but it eventually he sneezed him out, and I don't recommend they be put in the nose. I didn't do this. I just happened to see this and sneezed him out, but what it can do is, because it's so strong, something like that is kind of irritate and maybe burn a little, nothing like a fire, nothing like that, but the inside of the nostril, the nose, because it's sensitive in there. So you don't want to do that unless absolutely necessary, but that'll be another video. And so, you know, like I said, I got my ammonia tabs in here, so I decided to put them in there safer so they don't break. Some ibuprofen, I like to keep in there 800 milligrams, and good for aches and pains if you're not allergic, or you know, you don't want to play doctor or whatever when you're trying to help someone. This is like for people I know, or specifically me, so it matches in here. These are the Strike Anywhere matches, by the way, which I like, and these will light on anything pretty much, but they'll stay dry in this thing right here. And I have some spare too I carry. I just happen to throw these in the first aid kits. You know, hey, get cold or something, got to start a fire, part of an emergency. So you have your bandages here, gauze compress, triangular bandage, you know, that folds up in there. Then this thing, what I like is that it folds out, so that's pretty cool. So it gets this long, and I have everything in here from like rubber gloves. I recommend, if any of you guys have little bottles in your first aid kits, whether it's flexible like this or in a bag or a case, use a good Ziploc, not the cheap kind. The cheap kind are good for other things, you know, save money for yourselves. Here's some iodine, but as you can tell, leaked a little bit, but it didn't ruin my first aid kit or anything else in here. Learned the hard way, of course, a million years ago. So anything you do, I like to label all my stuff so I know what the heck, or say somebody, I may need the help, and my friend or a stranger or something is going to use my first aid kit to help me till some real help can get there, some professional help. At least they're looking at what they're reading. You know, they're not going to be confused. Of course, it's our first aid packs. You may want to think about that. We know what's in our kits. We know what it is. We know what this liquid is, what this does, what that does. Somebody that may get the pack and work on you or someone else, and you're not there, or you can't tell them, they're not going to know, because they don't know our packs. You know, they don't know our first aid gear and other stuff. So I like to, like I said, label everything so that way people know. But anyways, yeah, I recommend good little good Ziploc bags. That way, anything leaks, your pack and everything's not going to get the rash and stuff. Same with like even a gun cleaning kit. I do that with my lubricants and stuff as well, because I've had a boo-boo in there as well. And alcohol. And this one is actually a flip-up cap, so you can actually squeeze it and it flips down. So it's good to have these little bottles like that. It's not a lot of alcohol, but I don't think I'll be needing that much. In my car, though, I do have a big alcohol bottle like this, your typical kind you buy, rubbing alcohol that you buy in the store, and an iodine one as well. Because there, I don't have to carry that. That's in my vehicles, used for range. Anytime I'm there, I have it there, so me and my partners or clients or whoever, If I need to get all that stuff, it's there. So that's a lot bigger. So your first aid kit for your vehicle can be, you know, bigger depending on your spaces. I mean, you don't want to go giant, but depending on what you do or what you have it for. Here in this other pocket, you got your alcohol wipe tabs, or wet wipes, kind of. Now, one time I looked and 6 months later these things were dry. And other kind that are rubbing alcohol type, this is an antibacterial. And, you know, I can't tell you to check every 3 months, 6 months. I would assume it varies because they just dry up, unfortunately. So it's good to check your pack, especially if you're going to go out hiking, backpacking as I do. I always go through everything way before I'm going to go on my little trip, because if it's dry, it's not going to serve me any purpose, and then replace it with some new stuff. Thermometer. This came. This actually didn't come with everything, just some minor stuff. When I first bought it a long time ago, I added stuff myself. Thermometer. Not a big deal, but it's in there and there's a space for it, so I don't mind. Now this is majorly important in my opinion in a first aid kit. And all of us, I think, have had a splinter. And my God, that thing can bug the hell out of you all day, night. Just ruin everything. So if you don't have somebody to take it out, it just can destroy your whole trip. I mean, it's just, you know, I would think a bigger cut is less pain and stress than a splinter. Especially if it gets under your skin. These are tweezers. I have different types. I'll do a video on another kind I have. But this is small, easy to carry, and I've tried these personally. They do work. These are tiny, and I'd say about 1.5 inches. And these things do work. I mean, it's got, on the inside you could tell it's serrated. Well, this one's not serrated. I'm sorry, my other one is. But it's strong enough to pull it out. There are some that it's weak, so I like to make sure that I get some good kind that are going to pull it out, and my trip is good to go. So that's important. I feel that's really important in a splinter. Or, you know, you might get a needle or pine needle or something. God forbid a porcupine or something. But that's very important. And, you know, the basic stuff is bandages, band-aids, like we all have. I have different sizes here. I have the sterile pad absorbents, bigger ones. You know, this is 4" by 4". Absorb blood and everything else. You got these bigger bandages. These are probably about, I'd say about, this is almost 4 inches, 3.5 by 1.5. But it's a nice, good sized bandage for a bigger cut. So these, you know, I like to be prepared for everything I can. These are some sewing needle type, but these are medical. Just in case you got to do the old Rambo or something, and you just can't get to medical help or whatever, and you need to sew up yourself or something, someone else. And I have some string around here somewhere, but these are small little needles. So I'd recommend classes. I've taken some. It's not that hard, you know. Afraid of blood? Well, gotta do something. These are just like these wipe down pads. You can get them at different stores for cheap, like 100 for $2. And these are really cool. I mean, these are, you can put alcohol and wipe down a wound, or just clean the area around it, you know, that kind of stuff. And they're very inexpensive. You can use them for all kinds of stuff. You could even use them and light them on fire if you needed to. And these things are, like I said, I think I got like a 100 pack for like $2. And you can go to your different stores to get these kind. And, you know, girls and others use them. People use them to take makeup off, put some alcohol or other stuff on there, or to clean yourself. But these things are really invaluable. And these are, over here, some other ones that probably a lot of you guys have compared to the antiseptics. These are the ones you definitely need to check. A lot of kits will come with them, some will not. And it'll say, I can't even pronounce this, but it's antiseptic towelette. And you could read everything on there. But these things will dry up. I can't tell you if it's going to be 2 months, a month. I think a month, 2 months, you're good. 3 even maybe. But after that, I'm telling you, you'll pull this out. It has no holes. But this thing is not, you know, they're moist inside. So this thing's not waterproof or moist proof. So when you open it up, this thing will be bone dry. I say if it is bone dry, instead of throwing them away, any of these types or any other antiseptic type, save it in the package, because you can use them like this, and if they're all dried up, you can use them to light fires or stuff like that. So, you know, kind of good things to keep around and have other uses when they dry up instead of just throwing them away. And here's just bigger gauze type bandages on this right here. I like to be organized. That's how I am in my life. So, that's why I love first aid kits with pockets and stuff like that. So to each his own, you know, as long as you know where everything's at. And these are right here, your skin sutures, and these are little strips. These are pretty cool, and they'll help kind of with different cuts and kind of bring it together, so to speak, even if you don't have a sewing kit type. So that's pretty cool. And this thing actually came with this cheap little first aid kit. But hey, no big deal. I didn't buy it for this little kit, but it came with it. Like I said, it came with very minor things. I pretty much filled it myself, especially for backpacking and stuff. But this one, like I said, is my bigger one for my car for any kind of emergency. Or if I happen to see somebody and they need help, I'll, naturally I would call 911. But if it's immediate and I can do something, hey, no problem. So, like I said, a big one like this I keep in my truck. In my backpacks and go bags, my bug out bags, I have smaller type, first aid kits because, as you guys know, ounces equals pounds in weight. So I'm going to carry less. I'm going to have it filled up pretty good, I'll tell you that, for at least, my first aid kits are meant for, like, myself, of course. That's a given. And then maybe one or two people. So I don't overstuff it. Not like somebody's going to need 100 Band-Aids. But it is smaller in those bags when I go backpacking and stuff. I have taken this big one, but when you start stuffing it with other stuff, it gets insane. So this book basically has, here's your quick index. So it's not bad. I mean, I keep it in there. It came with it. Somebody that's not as worthy information-wise on first aid could probably even read this and help out. So, and it may calm a person down as they're reading it. And so that came with it, which is, like I said, it's pretty cool. I was going to say free, but it's not free. It came with it, so that means I paid for it. Alright, so the other things on here, I added the scalpel. That's a nice little scalpel in case you need it. I would figure, compared to my bigger knives, Bowie type, and Tano blades and others I carry out there for all kinds of purposes, they're not going to do what this is going to do. So a scalpel is a good thing to have. If you ever, you're not going to play surgeon and that kind of stuff, but if you need to get into something on your own wound, your body, or someone else's, a scalpel is going to do it. So that's really important. I had a magnifying glass. I love magnifying glasses. They have all kinds of uses. Obviously, you can start a fire with it if you need it. But the main reason, some of you may be wondering, why is a magnifying glass in my first aid kit? I'll tell you, and I've used this. Splinters, my favorite buddies. I have had splinters that are so freaking small, and maybe some of you have vision problems. But even if you don't, I have really, really good eyesight. And at times, maybe there's not light or something, or even with the light, you can't find it. So with this baby, I'll tell you what, I have found the splinters. So very invaluable. And if you want to take this off on this type right here, I could actually unscrew this and just have the magnifying glass itself. So that saves time. Put it in a little Ziploc, you don't get your fingerprints all over it. And so I could use it either way. So I like to keep it this way. And if you have a second person, they can, kind of find that splinter. But really good for splinters, in case you haven't thought of that, for your first aid kit. Magnifying glass. Maybe a reading type glasses from 100, 200, 300 power. For some of you guys that need that, it can help too. Another gauze pad right here. This is the second puck I'm replacing because I don't need two thermometers. It just happened to be in there. So every now and then I kind of rethink my kits, and you don't want to be redundant, especially thermometers. You're not going to need two, let alone one. But since one's in there, fine. But I don't need two. One just came with it. Naturally, your scissors. I have the other scissors, and I'll show you in a bit. The EMT type they call, that are bigger, but these came with it. Not bad. They work. And backup tweezers, I totally believe in. Now this right here has, your, this is like a typical cheap one, but it does work. I've tried it, and this one came in the pack. So tweezers, they're small enough. I believe in backup. Because like I said, a splinter can ruin your entire day. This is where, it's just a tube. I'll be putting something in there. I'm not sure yet. Maybe toothpicks or something, but you could always use that to with wounds where you're trying to move something, or you don't want to use, say, something super sharp, and maybe you have a splinter or something similar. You could use a toothpick actually very softly just to move it. You'll feel the pain, and then I'll tell you exactly where it's at. So I may do that. Then you could throw the toothpick away. It's wood, so you're not littering, so to speak. And that'll help you sometimes when there's blood or you don't know the area. You use a toothpick lightly, and then you'll find it. I'm telling you, you'll find either it's glass, maybe a small piece of glass, or anything. So I'll do that. And then I think it's important. We're out there. Here's some floss, like we use dental type picks in the bottom. That also works really good for other things. anything pretty much you can think of. Ear swabs, I love ear swabs, obviously for ears, but other things. Safety pin in there, more antiseptic towelettes in there, some more band-aids, different sizes basically. So anyways, that's all this right here. And like I said, as you can tell, this you know, rolls up. I like that, you know. I like to keep things compressed, save space. Now I'm going to turn it around and I'll show you this part right here. These elastic tubes, unfortunately, they get loose, so I'm going to have to tighten those up because I don't like everything just bouncing around. So here you have a zipper. And in here what I have, some more goodies. Although I keep one separate in my pack, remember this is my auto for my vehicle first aid kit, emergency blanket. Like I said, you can dispose. I got some rubber gloves in here, different kinds, some more tape. So rubber gloves are always good, especially blood. You don't know who's got what disease nowadays, and it can get slippery and dirty. So it's good just to put on gloves. It's not disrespect to anybody that needs help and stuff like that. These are different kinds of needles. Bigger, of course, but like I said, you gotta do what you gotta do. So it's good to be ready. And then this is a mosquito snake bee tick kit. Had this a long time, never had to use it. I've played around with it on my arm. This is like a syringe type in it. You put the suction, the different cups and stuff for the wound, you put that over it, depending on the size and what type of bite or sting. I should say stingers and stuff. And supposedly this will suck out the poison or the whatever that's been in there. You know, not that every poison is going to kill you, but that's what it does. This razor here is to shave off the anything else that's blocking their blood or whatever. It's kind of interesting, so I may have to do a video on that. But I've never had to use it, but it's an interesting concept. I bought it. Makes sense to me a bit, and you basically, but you have to do it immediately right after you get stung, or you know, the stinger or the anything like that's in you. And another bandage compression gauze in there. So I like the multiple pockets. I'm a pocket guy. You probably heard my other videos, but this is my first aid kit. This is how you roll it up. You zipper it up and keeps everything in. And like I said, I've had this thing for a long time. It's red, so it'll tell you obviously it's first aid kit. This material is somewhat water resistant, it's not waterproof. It's got two handles, which I love. It's got these two D-rings here, so I put little carabiners on the zipper, so it's just easy to get on here. But it's got two D-rings, so you can hang it from places. So that's my first aid kit. Like I said, made by REI. I love that store too, but I don't endorse pretty much anyone. I just love my gear and like to share what's good for me. It might work out for some of you guys. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Keep your first aid kits up to date and any kind of training that helps. Take care. God bless.